Naija politics be like season film. Every day, new episode, new wala. Welcome back to Talk City, where we break it down without fear or favor. Today's gist go make you reason well whether you go also join the people who wants turn Arise TV to flog Dr. Abati. Look up, just stay with me till the end, because this triangle between the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Senator Natasha Abati no be small matter. This whole thing started when the court gave its verdict on Senator Natasha Abati. Well, the court said, yes, so we find you guilty, but here's the deal. Pay 5 million naira fine, apologize in national newspapers, and Senate, una fit punish her, but make una not so overdo am. Viewers, it sounds simple, right? But now from here, the drama starts. Now listen, Senator Natasha Abati has been assuring and promising her followers that she's going to resume her legislative duties. But surprisingly, as she showed up at the National Assembly, security operatives blocked her. In fact, gates were locked, like say she be trespasser. But viewers, the funniest thing be say, people they talk say, now the Senate President himself, Godswill Akpabio, they pull the string from behind. Well, I don't want to sound as if I'm exaggerating. Just look at these pictures, my people. Gates locked, supporters stranded, even activists Aisha Yesufu full ground with gbos energy. But that's not even all at all. Wahala enter another level when Dr. Abati's comment on Arise News triggered plenty people. They say he's always biased, but the truth is, this is not the first time talk like this go to surface that Dr. Abati is always biased. Take a listen to the comments that is making people vex. Some even say he dey always defend power.
It seems to me that this whole drama is unfortunate. There's too much theatrics, with one party going on appeal, with another party also threatening to go on appeal. Now, the best place to resolve the matter is in the court of law. It's not in the media, it's not on the streets. However, I think that the whole argument is about the interpretation of the ruling of the court. And we have found ourselves in a situation in this country whereby the ruling of the judiciary is subject to various interpretations. Lawyers will not always agree anyway, but I think that judges need to be very clear in what they say about particular cases. Now, Justice Bitan Yako is a highly experienced justice, but in this particular case, you have Senator Yemi Adaramodu, spokesman of the Senate, saying what the judge said is that she said, in my opinion. And I've said here that there's a difference between what a judge says, by the way, and what is the main substance of the case. Even the complainant, even the affected party in this case, she has not apologized. She has not done the newspaper rulings, because there's also some vagueness about who the apology should be directed to. The Facebook satire that Senator Nakutie Uduaghan put out, the main victim is Akpabio and the Senate. Now, again, the judge was very careful, just say, oh, this is contempt to the court. I think our judges need to be more activist, they need to be more assertive. Senator Natasha Abati mobilizing street urchins to storm the national...
Who are the street urchins? Dr. Abati,
well, I saw some people, behaving like street urchins.
Okay.
Going to the National Assembly, I think it's also wrong. Right. Because within the purview of the law, it amounts to self-help. It amounts to taking the laws into your hands.
Right.
Whatever the interpretation of the law on either side, it does not lie in your powers to enforce the law.
Right. Okay.
If you see any ambiguity, as I've said, resulting from the nature of the ruling, you go back to the same court.
Right.
And I think all of us should operate within the purview of the rule of law, not, resort to self-help, and not mobilize street urchins to enforce whatever our interpretation of the law
All
is.
right, Dr. Abati, talking about this ambiguity, like you have highlighted, the last time I took this story, I believe I quoted Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, and I'll read that quote again, in which he said, he emphasized that the Senate cannot disregard the court's decision, stressing that once a court has delivered a determination, whether by judgment order or recommendation, it becomes binding and enforceable under Nigerian law. And this is Senior Advocate of Nigeria. That's the interpretation. Yeah, that's the interpretation of the law.
If you put three lawyers in the same room, you will have three opinions.
So
depending on who their client is.
Right. But what I'm saying, on this table, we're not going to just say, oh, well, she's wrong or she's right. There's been so many views to this story, and I have just read a very Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, Femi Falana, who has said that the ruling might be banned.
Hold different opinions.
Correct. That's why I said opinions are divided.
Why the judiciary must be assertive.
Correct.
And be clear.
Correct. You're right on that one.
Well, the thing be say, I know they take sides or criticize anyone before people start coming for me. And whether na street kids or urchins, matter plenty. But as you all know here on Talk City, my job is to bring to you what is happening so you can judge the matter for yourself. Now, hear from Aisha Yesufu. She no carry last at all. I want you to take a listen and let me know what you think about everything she said. Watch this short clip.
You know Reuben Abati during Jonathan's era, that usually we'll be surprised when Reuben Abati says something or he does something. There's nothing surprising over there. What Reuben Abati failed to understand, although he's someone who always, you know, he wants to be called doctor, he's elder, he's what, he wants respect. But he forgets that respect is reciprocal. What he doesn't understand is that street urchins are also citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And when vote is being done, as long as they are 18 and above, they also have the right to vote. And so when a senator is being harassed, is being unconstitutionally suspended, street urchins also have a right and freedom, although I don't know whether he's like Monday Okpewolo who thinks that security clearance need to come and be taken from him. Maybe Reuben Abati feels that citizens are supposed to come and get security clearance for him. The street urchins that he called are supposed to come and get clearance for him, and then he'll be the one to assign the people that are going to go there and be with Senator Natasha or any of those things. And so I don't know whether that's what he's talking about. So these street urchins also have rights to go where they want to go to, and when they see a senator being treated in such an unconstitutional manner, street urchins can be there. So for him sitting down with his, I think he was wearing, if I'm not mistaken, he was wearing a suit and some bow tie, sitting there in his suit and bow tie and on his sanctimonious throne, because he has the opportunity to come and appear on TV every day to have opinion. He thinks he's better than street urchins. But well, it's in this thing. Like I said earlier, he's one person. I mean, even in his media, he has a media, online media, this thing. Reuben Abati something, he's always retracting things. You know, this is someone who doesn't think things through. And if there was one of the things that actually made Jonathan to lose the election, Reuben Abati is high up amongst those things. You know, all the things that they did during those period, calling people names, abusing people. The other person is late though, you know, abusing people and all of that. And so I would say to Reuben Abati, probably he needs to get a bit more of liver, a bit more of what do you call it now, courage, to not just sit down on a chair. When they say what do I call it now? Some people say armchair critics or whatever. I don't know, armchair, whatever it is. Just to have the courage to do those things and be him, let him do him, and let the street urchins do them. And for me, I was quite surprised the way Reuben Abati was so, you know, the way Reuben or Abati, because adding Mr. to that name doesn't even make sense, or Doctor to that name doesn't make sense, because the behavior that he exhibited in that particular video that I showed doesn't show someone who actually went to school and was deserving of the prefix doctor being added to the person's name. And the way he just sat there, you could see him. He has already made an opinion, and that's it, and that's fine. And even when they're trying to say to him, oh, there's a contrary opinion, because the thing about what people don't understand is that when you see a contrary opinion, it gives you the opportunity to look at things from a certain angle. But as Rubin will always be Rubin, you understand? Rubin now. He go always Rubin. And you saw him doubling down. Oh, if you bring in 3 lawyers, they're going to say 3 different things. Let others say so. But you just give your own opinion, and you're being told there's also another opinion. Although his own is not even taking it as opinion. As far as it's concerned, it's the fact, it's the law, it's what should be. The court has said the suspension is unconstitutional, and that's enough for her to return. And what she simply did, what Senator Natasha simply did, was to go in there and resume. She didn't come with a large number of people, and the street urchins decided, Rubin street urchins decided to escort her there as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, except Rubin is going the way of Monday. And they went into the Senate. Probably Rubin is telling us that the Senate is meant for certain kinds of people. And she went in there to go and resume her duty, and she was stopped from resuming her duty, and she simply turned. She wasn't even, she didn't, we want that same gate that they closed, like I said earlier. There were people who had actually scaled that gate, once upon a time. But of course, Rubin was being Rubin at that time that they scaled that gate. I think I might even go and check what he said at that time when, when Rubin was spokesperson to former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and they went to the National Assembly to tear gas the Speaker of the House of Representatives and stop them from accessing, the National Assembly, and they scaled the gate. The street urchins that followed the senator said, the street urchins, according to Rubin Abati, that follow Senator Natasha, they didn't have to scale the gates. Rubin Abati, they look for who go talk to them. Bros, go and face them. Who be that person? Who was that person that was talking to him and saying that he was going there to go and collect money? Was it Wiki? Go and face Wiki. Now street urchin, they get liver for. Sure, the weekend you were writing episode, man like you insulted you anyhow. Don't get mouth to talk. See that they were writing episode, you were writing English, you were writing grammar. Or if my wife had gone, I'm not the one that went. Can you just imagine such foolish statement coming out from someone who calls himself an elder person? Very foolish statement. You were in prison, your wife, and she went to go and look for how she will be able to get money to get you out of it. Prison for corruption, by the way, to get you out of it and whatever. And you are saying that your wife, if your wife went, she didn't go with her. If you had money that was there, she knew where you kept it, wouldn't she have used it to do the thing?
Very quickly, as you can see, we serve you raw as it happen. I know you've been enjoying this particular update, and guess what? You never like, you never share. I beg. The only way you can support us is by liking and sharing, and you can also be part of this amazing community. It is very simple. Just click on that subscribe button and make sure you turn on the notification bell. Easy peasy, and trust me, we no go disappoint you. And let's get back into the gist. Now, many they ask, where does Rufai stand in all this? Is he supporting the system or standing with Natasha? Waiting Rufai talk surprise even me. Take a listen.
Strong advocate. Go ahead. Rufai on fire.
With due respect, those that followed Natasha, they were not street urchins. They were bold Nigerians that stood for their convictions and what they believe in. Secondly, I'm here with the CTC and it's clear. Let's not dilly dally over this matter. Let's look for empirical facts. Thus, an order is hereby made for the plaintiff to pay a fine in the sum of 5 million naira to the federal government treasury and publish a public apology to the court in 2 dailies on her Facebook page within 7 days to purge herself of contempt. Those are facts on ground. So the apology is not to the Senate. And let's not stop rigmaroling this thing. It's to the courts. I think we've stated that over and over again. That's why I had to read the CTC. Thirdly, for those saying that it's a public spectacle, I'm sure we have selective amnesia in this country. We forgot. How did allegations by Natasha Abati lead to her being recalled? When the other camp was doing the recall process, was that not a public spectacle? Who was the first person to come on this table after that incident happened in the Senate that day? Wasn't it Senator Nwaboye that came to speak in favor of Senator Godswill Akpabio and berated Senator Natasha Abati? He sat down on this seat you were sitting that day. And as regards the judgments, the reason why Senator Abati did appeal the judgment was, and I have also seen a cross appeal to that 5 million thing, was that there were lots of procedural issues. Everybody knows if you want to institute a process of contempt, there's something called a Form 48 and Form 49. Okay. And also, during the process, there had been allegations that the other parts also perpetrated a level of contempt, because the so-called parts where they dogged Senator Abati for, for writing the Facebook post, the lawyers representing the other party also wrote some things in the paper where everybody was supposed to go off.
And they were speaking
to the media. They were speaking to the media. In fact, they had more airtime. As Senator Abati, they are empirical facts. Let's call a spade a spade. Thirdly, the judgments. The judgment is clear. As if we want to regoo room and we want to act funny. When we want to do a K, we act funny. The judgment, the same judgment that stated, let's read it together, please. I have the CTC here. I like to talk to facts. The same judgment that stated this, that to suspend a member of a period of 6 months to a suspension of 180 days and the same number of days, and the member is expected to sit in the House representing the people, that I find excessive and overreaching, noting that it will prevent a member from complying with Section 63. And she further said, I am of the opinion that the Senate has the power to review the provisions of the Senate rules and even amend them, act both for being excessive and overreaching. Right. So the facts are clear. All right. So I think based on this, she went there to assert herself.
Is it the last
and
day?
It's not
was
a
it
bad...
the last day of sitting?
Yeah, because they are going on recess soon,
right,
and she'll still come back.
All right.
The question we should ask ourselves is, see, the formative matter has never been discussed because all the panels that were set up for them to really even discuss the allegation.
That's the sexual harassment allegation, yeah.
All those panels were sidestepped one way or the other.
Right.
The question is, see, I will be the first, Oji, to berate Senator Abati and abuse her if she doesn't have facts on the sexual, allegations. Okay. You get. But the truth is, let's stick to fact. Is it because of the allegation she made that a push for a recall was made? Mm-hmm. Documents were doctored for the recall that we saw? All right. All sorts of blackmail had gone on. And we're talking about public spectacle here.
This is it. Okay,
Who asked for a public spectacle in the first place?
We will follow up on the
Let's
story.
follow
I
up
would have loved Mbai's comment, but we have run out of time. I mean,
my people, plenty wahala dey ground. Well, that's not all. Mbai also, she shared her own opinion regarding this triangle fight between the Senate President, and Senator Natasha Abati. So take a listen.
Let's start with the skit-making comment, which is that the reason why a lot of people felt that what Senator Natasha did the other day was almost content creation or skit-making is because she's already addressing the matter before the courts. So when you know that your issue is pending in the courts, why then come and create this type of scene, if not that you're courting attention and, you know, just trying to almost make a mockery of the process. So that's where that is coming from. However, having said that, on that CTC itself, I feel that we shouldn't trivialize this issue because it's a very big issue. I've spoken about it before, and I've said that what we're discussing and debating here is the separation of powers, and we are testing the limits on the separation of powers, which is that the judiciary cannot influence what happens within the legislature except when fundamental rights within the legislature have been violated. Mm-hmm. In this case, the judge was very clear in saying that she felt that fundamental rights had been violated. But why not go ahead and say, okay, you've given us your opinion, no problem. given this,
It's the order.
here we go. Because she's
Give
saying
the
that
order.
fine, the Senate rules were
Yes.
violated and so forth, but the punishment was too excessive. No problem. How do we give justice? Because you're there
It's so
to
simple.
remedy what you feel is an injustice.
Right.
And I think that's where the chaos now happens here, because you've given us your motivation that there's an injustice. You've concluded
Yes.
that there's an injustice, but you're not giving us a remedy for that injustice, which is why somebody would, I don't support self-help, but this is why somebody would now delve into self-help, because the judge is on my side, but the judge, what is stopping the judge?
Yes.
And that raises many other questions that we don't have time to delve
Yeah.
into today. But for me, the question is, what is stopping the judge from prescribing the remedy
it.
for the injustice that she has observed has taken place?
Yeah.
Nigerian politics be like season film. Another day, another episode, like I talk am, with another twist. But one thing clear, these people sabi exactly wetin dem dey do. From the court ruling to locked Senate gate, biased commentary and public outcry, it is clear we are watching power tussles play out in real time. But the big question remains, my people, who is really punishing Senator Natasha Abati? Is it the Senate president himself, the whole Senate, or some bigger force? People dey vex, people dey confused, and as for us at Talk City, we go keep bringing una the full gist as e dey hot. Don't forget, subscribe, like and share. This is Talk City. Till next time, stay sharp and stay woke.